Hey, welcome to DGen. That's degenerative education, meaning none of this is financial advice. Just me having fun looking at charts like the charts behind me, which are of GameStop, ticker symbol GME, as well as Chewy, ticker symbol CHWY. And so I wanted to do a quick little update on these because, we have seen them pull back a good amount. But, I do think that we could be seeing some really nice dip buying opportunities if we are not already seeing them. And so, yeah, I just wanted to share my perspective looking here on the monthly time scale, and then I'll go over some levels on the daily time scale as I typically do. And so here looking at GameStop, I am recording this on August 1st, so that is Thursday after the close, and GameStop closed at a price of $21.71, being down around 4.23% on the day and continuing down in the after hours trading right now around $21.15. That is down a little over 2.5% in the after hours. So not looking so great there, but looking at the monthly time scale here, we can see, that we had this big squeeze up back in 2001, and following that we saw this bleed down, and then we have broken out from that downtrend, and we are still trading above it. So I do think that is pretty good. And, while we can't really consider this first candle, or this last candle, I should say, because it only represents one day, for the month of July, we can see that we have this inverted hammer candle. It could be suggesting that we are at or near a bottom, but it also could suggest that, with this big wick to the top side, that buyers were not able to push the stock price higher, and we could be seeing it fade a little bit more. So something to consider there, that we might see price hanging out down here for maybe another month. And then looking over at the Chewy chart, taking a step back so we can see, the big picture here. We have seen, the big upside moves in 2021, and then it does look like, we have broken out of, this consolidation, this wedge here, but we haven't gone up as much as we have with, GameStop. And so Chewy closed the day at a price of $23.25, being down a little under 4% on the day, continuing down about 4 cents in the after hours. And so this chart, I think, looks a little bit more concerning than the GameStop chart, because we just saw, kind of this reversal signal over the course of July, coming down over the course of the month around 11.23%. And so, maybe we're about to start forming a bottom, but I do think we could see price consolidate a little bit more moving forward, maybe see some nice dip buys over the course of the month. But now, switching back over to the GameStop chart, looking at the daily time frame, and throwing some drawings up here. But before I get into the drawings, which I do think, suggest we might be at a pretty important level, I wanted to pull up this video from Roaring Kitty. Goes back, I believe, to 2021. And, I just wanted to play this for us. It's a minute long because I think it does, shed a lot of wisdom that we could be thinking about over the course of, the past couple of months and, the months moving forward. And so let's listen to Roaring Kitty here.
Let's say you bought or whatever, it doesn't matter. You're tracking the story. And then when the stock does nothing like this, look at this. This was June, okay? Nothing. Up a little bit, nothing. Down a little bit, nothing. June to October, nothing. Some people might look at that and they go, that sucks. You know what I think? Incredible. If you're dialed into it, those could be potential opportunities, because you could add. And you add, if only for the passage of time. Just the passage of time. You might go there, well, what was the reason for adding? Was there insider buying, whatever? Nope. Time passed. That's all. 3 months passed. Boom. Done. I'm telling you, that's a good enough reason to potentially add. If you feel that you are right, and your thesis is dialed into reality, and nothing happens with the stock, who gives a shit? Because you're just like, hey, you want to keep on offering me this price. You started with GameStop over the summertime, but it looks like you kind of start with BlackBerry too.
All right, so, with that being said, we have seen price down here kind of in this range from around $22 up to around $30. Seen price trading in that range, excusing this big move to the upside here. But we have seen price trading in this range for quite some time, and time has been passing. So why not pick up some shares, just add while it's down. It's not in the triple digits, so why not add? And on the note of Roaring Kitty, I did want to pull up his last YOLO update, which we can see here, last updated June 13th, so it's been some time. Still, as I imagine, holding those 9,001,000 shares of GameStop, so nothing to worry about there. And with that being said, his average is 23.41. We are currently trading below it. But we did pull back to a pretty key level that I have talked about many times during these videos, and that is the 786 from this retracement here, going from the low of 995 up to that market hours high of 64.83. The 786 is at 21.69. We dipped to it today during market hours, and price, like I said, is trading below that now during the after hours trading session. So, might not be so great, but it could also be kind of a fake out, a dip buying opportunity that we're experiencing during the after hours. And maybe we do open up above 21.69, above our closing price, and we see some movement to the upside. But, what I could see happening as well is that we pull back to potentially fill this gap here, which would be coming down to a price of 17.46. Talked about this level before as well. And so that is based on the closing price from May 10th before we saw this gap up and squeeze to around $80 during the, I believe, pre-market trading on the 14th I believe the 14th of May. And so that also does correspond with this low that we hit following, this pullback here to a low of 17.70. So maybe we see price coming down to around $18 a share. But if not, if we do continue to reside between around, 22 or maybe dipping down to 21 and up to around 30, those are potentially just great dip buying opportunities, or, really just time allowing for more accumulation in the passage of time, before we see the next big up move. If that is what the thesis is, the price action that we're seeing now is just, great opportunities to add more, but it does depend on your thesis. And my thesis is that we will be seeing price going higher, even though we did break below this uptrend. So, maybe that is not looking so good. And so I see that price action over the course of August could be, dips maybe coming down to 18, like I said, before we see some triple digits action, maybe in September, around September 20th, when the options expire for the month of September. But now switching over to Chewy, very similar chart here, where I do have this retracement going from the low here of 14.69 hit on April 25th, going up to the high here of 39.10. And we can see from that current price is right around the golden pocket. So that is a price range from $23.23 up to around $24. Price did close just above that 65% retracement, but we are now trading below it, down about 9 cents in the after hours, around 23.16. And so I'm wondering if we will find support there, but what I find to be a little bit more compelling, because it does seem to be fairly weak right now, that we might be coming down to the 786. That is at a price of $19.91, or, the round number of $20 a share. So, that is what I am going to be bracing for. I am going to be preparing myself, mentally, psychologically, for that level to be hit. If we do go much lower than $23 a share, I am just going to view that as more opportunities to accumulate, going down to around $20 a share. And if we do hit that level, I will also be preparing for this gap fill, which is at a price of $16.91. That is based on the closing price from May 28th, before we gapped up and then start to see these violent moves to the upside. And, like I shared the Roaring Kitty YOLO position with GameStop, I also wanted to share his position with Chewy, just like with GameStop, as he did file with the SEC. He is holding 9,001,000 shares. I don't know his exact average, but I am aware that, it is around the current price, and it might be slightly above it. And with that being said, I think that the price action that we're seeing now, opportunities to accumulate more, if the thesis is that price will be going higher than, let's say, 39.10. If that is the case, price action that we're seeing now is just great opportunities to accumulate more. But, those are just my thoughts. If you found them helpful, make sure you like the video, share your thoughts in the comments down below, and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. Thanks a lot for watching.